Hi guys. Sorry, my hair is like a mess. Again, it's so bad. I haven't uploaded a video in like almost a month, and I feel kind of bad about that because I wanted to make uploads like at least once a week, but I got lost and stuff has been happening to me, and I was just kind of like bed rotting and not doing anything except like, think about what happened. And while doing that, I've come to realize that nobody is going to truly understand you to the fullest extent. Whether it be a parent, a friend, or a lover, or even a professional, they might understand a part of your thoughts, but never entirely. Your parents might understand why you're tired, but they won't really search for the reasoning behind it. Or like, they might search for it, but they might not fully understand it, especially if you have mental issues. Your friend might understand your frustration and your problems, but they might not understand why you impulsively kissed that guy at a party last week. And your lover, as much as you like that person, they might just not understand you as a person. They might not understand the true person that you are. Because that person, whether it be your parent, your friend, or your lover, that person is not you. I've tried to make bridges and try to get people to understand my feelings by mansplaining to them every single second of my life that has brought me to this point. And I've never succeeded because I just simply felt so misunderstood and guilty for the person that I become for some reason. But although you've broken your own morals, nothing is wrong with exploring the world and making new experiences. And I finally come to realize that the only one who can truly understand me is me. I actually struggle a lot with telling my friends something that has happened to me because I don't want to seem like a really stuck up, like serious person. Even though I am personally pretty open about my feelings, and I usually tell people and try to communicate when something hurt me or I think something is wrong. And I think most of us have a friend or like friends we go to when we're going through something. And just when something has happened to me recently, it usually takes a few days, maybe a week or like maybe a month to come clean to them, especially when I am still in a bad mental state. Because what am I supposed to answer when they ask me like, "Oh, are you okay?" Like, am I just supposed to say like, "No, I'm fucking, I want to kill myself"? What am I supposed to say when they get angry at the person who might have hurt me? Because I can't even be angry at that person. I'm just so hurt and upset that it just drives me sick and insane. And though I was aware before said conversation that what I was going through was valid, I started questioning myself whether I'm being dramatic or like too emotional, and like whether I was in the right or like the wrong. Sometimes I want to talk to the person who hurt me to try and communicate my feelings, but I wonder if they'd feel as confused as I do, or if they just wouldn't care at all. That's like a constant fear of mine, the fear of being like too much, not being taken seriously and just feeling like a burden. I hate to be that person, being that one friend who's always freaking sad. I've had like so many parties or like hangouts where I would just like start crying, and my friends would try to like cheer me up and like say stuff like, "Oh, come on, just move on and enjoy the night, like try not to think about it and go have fun." And as sweet as it may sound, I just don't feel understood, and I don't want to ruin the hangout either. Sometimes it also appears as me like being oddly silent. I'm like lost in my thoughts and I'm thinking about my problems, and I either like worry my friends or like some people don't really notice at all because I'm pretty much like sad all the time. So I'm just constantly terrified of being like too emotional and always anxious around my friends and my surroundings in general. Like, not only do I have problems with socializing, but I've only learned how to cope by myself without any professional help, and whether it be in a healthy or unhealthy way. I very rarely snap at people, but when I feel like I need to communicate, I often just pour my emotions in and try my best to communicate in a way that wouldn't upset the other person or make them think lower of me. I always say things like, it's not your fault, maybe I'm just being sensitive, but this upset me and I understand why you did it. I know you didn't have bad intentions, but da da da. And I just keep on over explaining my emotions. I just feel like I have no self-respect for myself because I'm trying my best to understand the other person, and their own effort to do so for me is like so minimal that it just feels so disrespectful and one-sided, and it just hurts so much. I just feel so naked and like vulnerable in front of that person because they have so much power on me, and I don't know if like a lot of people realize that. But usually when I get into such arguments with people, I think it's pretty obvious, and usually we're pretty close. So, and it just kind of confuses me. I just try to avoid like conflicts as much as possible because I know I'm going to start like freaking crying in the middle of it. I've always tried to like people please my whole life. Well, when it was about me, like I've always tried to be the one to sympathize with people and their feelings, to the point where people tell me I'm being too freaking nice, and I don't know how to change that because like right now I'm snapping at you, but like I'm snapping at you because I've been crying about it for the past like 3 weeks or so, maybe even more, because I started this channel when that problem started coming back. But like whenever a person around me would get straight up disrespected, I would like immediately like stand up for them and just defend them, and felt very little shame. But when it comes to myself, I just can't do it, and I just end excusing like the other person's freaking actions, and instead keep all of my frustrations to myself and make myself feel even heavier than before. And I've often struggled with explaining to people my mental struggles too. Like I've never told my parents how much I've struggled with depression. Sorry, I'm reading my script right now, it makes no freaking sense. But like when I tried to get help and when I tried talking about it to my parents, I just got, cut off, and I never really got the courage to finish what I was saying because of my fear of being judged, being perceived. It just feels so vulnerable. I hate it. I just don't know how to execute it because I'm so freaking scared. I knew I wouldn't be taken seriously, even by my counselor, who thought I was just lacking motivation, as he's never been informed of it until I started taking appointments. I even felt misunderstood in front of a professional because of how hard it was to translate my own feelings and my thoughts into coherent, like, well conjugated and articulate sentences. How do I explain the pain, like the physical pain that I feel when I get hurt? Emotions just feel like built up chest pains that take over like my whole mood all the time, and it makes me so unsure and insecure of myself. In one of my previous videos, I've talked about falling into depression like every summer, and I fear that's what has been happening to me like this year too. And I was hoping it wouldn't. I can't seem to enjoy anything I usually like doing, and I don't even want to go out, let alone like get out of my bed, because my eyes freaking hurt and my head just starts spinning all the time. And I've been just not doing anything at all, pretty much like doom scrolling and like sleeping, losing myself in my thoughts, and worrying about everything and nothing at the same time. And school is starting in a couple weeks, yet I haven't like touched a single book like in 3 months, despite like not even being good at school. And nobody seems to understand me either at school. Like I'm seen as pretty smart for my peers in my town, but I'm considered as a kid who needs help all the time at school. But every time I asked for help, I just felt like this grueling sense of pity for myself because I genuinely couldn't understand a single thing. And no matter how slow or how much you explain it to me, like I still couldn't understand it. And I just couldn't understand why I was being this way. And it's just my parents keep like hiring new tutors for me, and I just they just don't understand that I just need professional help. But I don't think that's going to be possible since I have Asian parents. I've honestly worried a lot lately. I've had a lot of intrusive unwanted thoughts, and I'm scared of like acting on them at some point in my life. Like right now I thought about what if it happened, you know, and I'm just scared of ending up in a ward or something, because I just let these emotions just take control of my whole entire body and just turn me into the worst version of myself. I'm also like completely aware when I'm engaging in impulsive or like harmful behavior, because I am actively destroying and sabotaging myself, and I need to stop. Even though I may have some sort of self-control when it comes to that, because I'm just too lazy to relapse, I would still sometimes just give in to those needs, and it just feels so intense and uncomfortable when you open up about it to someone. And because usually like they ask you questions about it and they ask you why you did it, or they kind of just lecture you on how bad it is. Like, I already know that, and that's why I'm talking to you about it. I just want someone to understand and reassure me when something goes wrong, when things like that happen, and for them to make sure I'm doing okay. You just feel so dirty and disgusting, and you just feel like you're below them, you know? And you feel weak, and yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. To somehow wrap this up, I think that instead of depending so much on a person, you need to start learning how to help yourself. Your surroundings, your family, your friends, your partner are not there to fix you. They're there to support you. With that support, they're giving you courage to act. It can be like small things like getting up to take a walk or like shower. Just, you need to get out of that loop. You can't rely on someone. You can't rely on anybody else but yourself. You're the one who has to do it. Your surroundings are there to make you not feel alone. My room is like a mess. I haven't gone out in like quite a while. I mean, I still go out, but like once a week, and that's like not really the best because I'm not doing anything productive when I'm at home. I've literally been like sitting on my ass. Like right now I'm sitting on like a pile of clothes, and like every day I just sit on my ass on Discord and call my friends and like watch them play a game or something. You know, the rest of the day I just cry in my freaking bed. So hopefully things get better for me, especially since like school is starting soon and I'm scared of, you know, failing again. But since I'm gonna have like a routine forced on me, and like I'll get to see people, I think that's gonna, you know, motivate me a little more, like stimulate me or something. So yeah, hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.